This Saturday, it's the kickoff to Super Wild Card Weekend. And for the first time, an NFL playoff game will stream exclusively on Peacock.
Unbelievable!
It all starts at 4:30 Eastern with the Browns and Texans on NBC and Peacock. And then witness history when the Chiefs host the Dolphins at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Peacock.
The season comes down to this.
Go to peacocktv.com/NFL to learn more.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The following is a snippet of an exclusive members-only podcast episode for our Patreon Chronicles Tifosi. Become a member at patreon.com/Serie A Chronicles for regular bonus episodes and content.
But speaking about the Cup, Napoli lost 4-0 to Frosinone in the Cup, and they lost 3-0 to Torino in Serie A. Torino had scored 15 goals in 18 matches prior to this. Everyone's saying Torino don't score goals. They've got a bit better with Duvan Zapata. Walter Mazzarri should have returned. He did return, but he was sat sort of meekly in the stands because he was suspended after saying too much against Monza. And Niccolò Frustalupi, his assistant, took charge. But it was the same chaos. And it was just dreadful. I did the game and it was embarrassing. And I don't think I've ever been so critical of a Napoli team in recent years on commentary than I was about that. It was, even when they lost 4-0 to Milan last season, when they were winning the title, there was all the surrounding circumstances with the supporter protest and against De Laurentiis when the crowd went quiet, etc. But this was just bizarre. Credit to Torino. We can't make it all about Napoli. But again, Napoli are the story. Is this the worst title defence we've ever seen in Serie A? Is it the worst title defence of all time in any league?
Oh my God.
No, Leicester City.
That's such a high bar. Yeah, because now you've sort of got me on the spot thinking of ever. And Leicester is the one that comes straight to mind, of course, because it's a comparison between teams that perhaps aren't in the habit of winning the league as much. Although I think it's an imperfect comparison between Napoli and Leicester. I think Napoli have so much more often been at least close to the top of the table in the last few decades. Leicester's story came a bit out of nowhere. It's a horrendous title defence. It's a humiliating title defence. And I know producer Simon wanted to play us a clip of yours from the commentary this weekend where you called them donkeys. I'm sad I haven't been able to listen to it because for some reason it didn't work.
Niccolò Frustalupi. Literally, he who whips the wolves. Napoli's traditional symbol is a donkey, chucho. Can he whip these donkeys into shape? They've certainly been playing like donkeys.
I thought they were terrible, and it's reached this incredibly awkward point where you look around and go, I don't even know what the right way forward is, because I was completely on board with removing Rudy Garcia when they did, because Garcia was a strange appointment to begin with, and because you had an owner who'd been undermining him from the start anyway, so there was no health in that relationship. So I was on board with making that change, and I was skeptical of Walter Mazzarri, but willing to go along with this idea that, okay, you just get the traghettatore, you just get the ferryman, you get to the end of the season and that's okay. But they're not getting to the end of the season well. They're getting to the end of the season horrendously. They're not going to be relegated, because I think they probably need to win 2 more games this season not to get relegated. But they're not going to get anywhere near the Champions League if they keep playing like this.
Will they finish in the top 10? I think they're 9th now after that. 6 defeats from 10 games in all competitions under Mazzarri. I mean,
they haven't scored in 4 games. And Napoli haven't scored in 4 games. Napoli scored 77 goals, I think, last season. It's ridiculous how fast it's unraveling. So do you sort of then think, well, you have to do something? Maybe. But who are you going to hire? And of course, Antonio Conte was in the stands this game, so everyone's looking his way. And as I said on the Guardian's Football Weekly just this morning, I'd kind of love to see that as a piece of performance art. I don't think it would end well because De Laurentiis and Conte sounds like a recipe made in the
Hell?
pits of football hell.
Opposites
But
attract,
it would be
maybe?
very entertaining.
Listen, it's weird because if you look at the stats and you look at what's being done, I like with Walter Mazzarri, if you think that this is going to be like, as in you might as well have stuck with Rudy Garcia at this point, because we're talking about Walter who's managed only 3 wins, a draw, and 6 defeats. He's averaging 1 point a game in comparison to Garcia's 1.7. Napoli, which is really not that much to talk about, but Napoli used to concede 0.8 in XG, and now they're conceding 1.5 in XG. I mean, there's just so many stats that really like doom them. I think the one that's most prevalent is the fact that even when they were losing to Torino, they went to a 5-man backline. And that's when they decide to start defending the loss. I'm not really... I mean, listen, Walter Mazzarri is not really like the coach that you want to lean on, but I also don't want to be horrible to him either, because I do feel that he hasn't had much time to try to do something special. He also hasn't had Victor Osimhen available to him because either of a red card or because of Pasquale Mazzocchi's moronic reaction from coming on. And this is something like João Felix, like you're so happy to be at a new club because you've hated your old experiences, or just because you really love this new club, and you come in and you get so excited and you do something really stupid and you get sent off. It happened with João Felix for Chelsea, and it's happened now for Mazzocchi at Napoli, a Napoli born player. And I do feel sorry for Mazzarri. He hasn't had time to do anything, and the team is a shadow of itself. I think it's really hard to live up to what Spalletti's been doing. But even when Spalletti didn't have Victor Osimhen available to him, the team weren't as brilliant. I think it's also hard in your second season when people start to understand what Kvaratskhelia can do, and then you just ensure that he's isolated when you try to defeat Lobotka and stop him carrying the ball forward, where he doesn't have the help of Anguissa to progress that ball forward, when for some reason they haven't had a fullback for ages, and Mario Rui has just come back and Di Lorenzo's having one of the worst seasons in the world. And I think it's all just come at a wrong time, and I really don't know who to blame other than De Laurentiis not having a nice conversation with Spalletti, making him feel like he is really important, giving him the credit that he deserved, and signing him to a 10-year deal. So that is where I
think he would have left regardless. I think he's quite an intelligent man, Spalletti, and I think he realised that he was never going to win another league title after this. I think it comes back to that whole thing about, you've had a big meal, pancia piena, and you sort of rest on your laurels a bit. I think we're always going to get that with this group of players in a club that's just not used to winning the league title. Head to SerieAChronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership with a free 7-day trial. Get early access to every full-length episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, all episodes are 100% ad-free. And you get bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes, video episodes, and behind-the-scenes extras. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.